Good evening, Town Council members. With Christmas just days away, some of you might be looking for that last-minute gift. I would like to recommend a classic of children's literature, The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. For those of you unfamiliar with the story, it is a short tale about a society of fanciful creatures called Sneetches. Some have a star in their belly, and some don't. Those with a star brag about being better due to the star, so the plain-bellied Sneetches rush to apply a star to their bellies to validate their equality. So then the original star-bellied Sneetches have their stars removed and say that is now what makes them better. This back and forth for dominance plays out with whether a star or no star puts one above another in the Sneetch society, constantly changing, until all are confused on how they are to know who is better than the others. In the end, thankfully, the Sneetches realize the folly of thinking that one is better than another based on such distinctions. They reject star-bellied discrimination and become harmonious in the satisfaction that they are all equal in reality. Seuss's story of the Sneetches is genius in how it addresses discrimination. Instead of focusing on a specific actual bias, it attacks the whole concept of discrimination through metaphor, showing that discrimination of any type is not only morally wrong, but also toxic to a healthy society. Why do I think this children's book about discrimination, written in 1961, a good gift for the 2021 holidays? Well, it was recently revealed that a new technological tool developed by the state will allow Connecticut businesses to practice discrimination more effectively. With the COVID passport the governor is rolling out, a business can easily verify the vaccine status of patrons as a means of denying entry to some. We will become veritable Sneetches, digitally exposing our bellies as a requirement to entry. If you don't have the socially accepted star, or if you choose to just keep your belly to yourself, you will be excluded. But this isn't real discrimination, right? That would be ridiculous. I mean, if there were an app on your phone that verified your attendance at church as a requirement to attend a concert, we would reject that wholesale because we all know that's real discrimination. Same if the governor used taxpayer funds to develop an application for businesses that employed a skin pigment meter. We would surely cry foul, and rightfully so. And if the state were to assist in some way businesses that sought to admit only heterosexuals based on a perceived HIV threat, reminiscent of how our society almost fell off that discriminatory ledge in the 1980s, we would be absolutely aghast at the lack of humanity of such an idea. Thankfully, we are much more enlightened now, aren't we? Aren't we? Yet this is what we are doing with medical choice. But this is different, you say. Medical choice is not a protected class. Religion, race, and sexual orientation are. They are codified in our laws. But religion, race, and sexual orientation weren't always protected classes. They weren't always codified in our laws. Someone had to speak up against abuses of these populations of our society. Abuses perpetrated by individuals, by businesses, and by government. Perpetrated by some who genuinely thought they were well-meaning based on their ill-informed understanding at the time. Exclusion of these protected classes are not wrong or detrimental because we deem them protected. Their exclusion is wrong because it relies on the flawed concept of discrimination, on the concept that there is a hierarchy of worth in our society based on a man-made realization of difference. And this taxpayer-funded technology that our governor and many others are promoting uses discrimination to achieve exclusion. And the consequences for society are grave, as they have always been, no matter the segment of society excluded. So why have I come here to make this argument? Well, because this council is my most immediate representative and my most accessible. And I would hope all of you would join me in speaking out against any and all discrimination. Do not be a bystander. The silent lips of bystanders offer no voice to the chorus of justice. The only way things ever change or are rectified is through the action of people. As the oft-used quote goes, if not us, who? If not now, when? Out of all the questions you may ever ask yourself in this life, those two might be the most important. So as you celebrate the holidays and spend time with your family and friends and share laughs and smiles and hugs, know that others are doing the same, because that is what people do. We enjoy each other, and we are all people, no matter our religion or the color of our skin, no matter our sexual orientation or our medical choices, and no matter if a star adorns our belly or not. This is the wisdom handed down to us from a seemingly simple children's book written 60 years ago. May the coming year be filled with such wisdom, and may this wisdom be shared with others. For there may possibly be no greater gift for our society to share at possibly no greater a time. Thank you.
Thank you. for